Hey guys, hope everybody's staying safe out there. Anyway, this video we're going to be fixing up these little rust holes in the rocker, as you can see, and I'm just doing it with fiberglass. I was gonna weld patches in on the rockers, patches like metal patches, but I got to thinking about it and I thought, you know what, there's a really strong possibility that I'm going to end up putting brand new rockers on this truck probably next winter or sometime next year, especially if I really like the truck. I'll end up keeping it for quite a while. So yeah, I figured what's the point in welding metal patches on the rockers only to replace the whole rocker in a year's time. So I thought this, just putting some fiberglass patches on it and a little bit of body fill, it'll be fine for the time being. It'll look fine, and it's quick and easy. It's not a lot of money. I had the fiberglass in the shop, and it was a quick, easy way to just patch those holes up. That's the biggest hole there. That hole is probably a couple inches by a couple inches in size, maybe. So I put a little bit of fiberglass on first, just to get everything sticky and tacky, and then I come back and just stick the fiberglass on, and then I start putting coats of fiberglass over top the resin lake. So fairly easy, fairly straightforward. It is messy. If you care about your floor at all, I would recommend putting something down on the floor. I probably should have done that, but I figure I'll just take a scraper later and just scrape up the little bit of resin drops and stuff that were on the floor, and there's some paint drops there too, so not a big deal. But yes, it is very messy, and make sure you wear gloves too. That's another thing. You definitely want to wear gloves when you're working with this stuff. Yeah, it goes on pretty straightforward, just with a brush. And what I did is I sanded the whole rocker down first, got rid of all the loose metal and rust and all that kind of stuff, and I sanded the whole rocker, just gave the whole thing a good sanding. And that black you see on there now, that is Pour 15. It's supposed to be a really good metal protectant, and typically I wouldn't have bothered using that, but I had a can of it in the shop anyway, so I thought, why not? I actually painted that same black up underneath, inside the rocker too, like up underneath the truck. The inner rockers, like up underneath the truck, were still in really good shape, so I just decided to put a good coat of that on underneath the truck, and it'll just help protect the truck, and hopefully it'll keep it from rusting any further. I am going to soak this truck too with oil once I get it on the road here. Hopefully another month or so we'll have it on the road running and driving, but yeah, I'm gonna soak it with oil anyway. So, but that Pour 15 is supposed to be good stuff, so I figured, yeah, I'll put some on. It might make it last a little longer. And this is the other side of the truck here now. This side wasn't quite as bad. The holes were a little bit smaller. the actual cab corners were fine. They were in pretty good shape. So, and one thing I did when I got this truck right away, I actually sprayed Rust Check down inside the rockers and down in the cab corners and everything to just right away, because I wanted to stop any rust that had started in there. So that probably helped some too. But yeah, up inside the rockers, like the inner rockers, like up inside that and inside those holes, it looks in really good shape. I don't see any rust up in there at all. So as long as I keep soaking it good with oil, I don't foresee any problems there at all. So okay, so here, I don't know what happened to my footage of the putting the Bondo on, but for some reason it didn't record. But anyway, basically I just mixed up some lightweight Bondo body fill, and I just spread it on over top of that fiberglass that I had put on. So, and let it dry for, I think I just left it overnight actually. And then this is just the next day. I'm sanding it down, and I wasn't too fussy with this. Like I mean, they're just rockers. So, and this is definitely no show truck, for sure. So, yeah. So I wasn't being too fussy with the sanding and stuff and the finish of it. So, this was just a quick way to patch up the holes. So, but yeah. Put on, I think, 2 thin coats of Bondo, I believe is what I did, and then I just sand them down. And I believe I was using, I think that's 80 grit I'm using. It's either 80 or 150, I can't remember. Actually, it might be 150. I think it is 150 grit I'm using to sand the Bondo down. And like I say, it's no show truck, it's rockers. I mean, I don't care if they look perfect. It's not a big deal at all. So, one thing I will say too is don't put too much Bondo on, because I only did like 2 thin coats, and it makes it a lot easier when you go to sand it off. I mean, if you put too much Bondo on, you end up, well, you just waste a lot of time. You end up sanding and sanding and sanding. So I just did 2 thin coats of lightweight Bondo, and it comes off pretty easy. I mean, it's not too hard to sand off. And this is the finished product. It's certainly not perfect, but it looks a lot better than it did. Actually, it looks much better than it did. And the paint isn't perfect on it. I get to give the paint another scuff. I had a few runs in it here and there, and like I say, it's not a show truck. It is what it is. So I didn't care if it turned out perfect anyway, but it turned out pretty good. I'm very happy with it. So anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed the video. There is going to be more videos to come. Yeah, stay tuned, everybody. And everybody, please stay safe. See you in the next one.